I'll read. So I've been asked a few times now since my last video on each way sniper to provide, if I was able to provide an update. So that's exactly what I'm going to do in this video. I'm going to start off with the current year statistics, profit and loss basically. And then I'm going to move on to actually showing you the software and how it works and what my settings are. So stay tuned till the end to see all that. So to start with then, on the left hand side here, I've just got each day for May. So you can see the 1st of May through to the 12th of May. It's currently the 13th of May, morning of 9:07, down on the bottom right there. And I've also got in this right hand little table the amounts taken straight from the driftometer for January, February, March and April. So you can see that every single month so far this year has provided a profit. I did actually start each way sniper auto last November. November I was on 50p stakes. December I upped it to, I think it was £1. And now I'm predominantly on £2.50 stakes since sort of December, January time. I say predominantly because there was two bookies, which were Sky Bet and Bet365, where I could only get like sort of 40-50p each way on. That still applies to Sky Bet, but for some reason seem to have been ungubbed or like unstake restricted from Bet365. I don't know how or why it's happened. But probably about January, February, March, April time, yeah, the first 4 months of the year, I was just putting 40-50p each way bets on. It was a thing where if I was putting 50p on, the maximum odds I could get on was like 26. If I wanted higher than 26, I'd have to drop it to like 40p. And even then, some of the higher ones, like 66 to 1, wouldn't place because the potential winnings were too high. However, about 2 weeks ago now, I got an email from Bet365 saying that I had a £5 free bet in my account, which was basically unheard of since I was actually gubbed, never mind stake restricted, which was probably about 6 months ago. I was actually gubbed while I was doing match betting. So again, I'd recommend doing match betting first and then use any gubbed accounts that you end up with from match betting using each way sniper. Probably wouldn't use healthy accounts on each way sniper, although as you can see by the figure, some people might think it's worth sacrificing healthy accounts. So anyway, I got this £5 bet and I went and put it on straight away before they took it off me, because obviously my thinking at that point was, well, this is a gubbed account and then a stake restricted account. Put the £5 bet on using Odds Monkey, Odds Matcher, and that went fine. And I thought, well, hang on a second, if they've let me put £5 on here, am I still actually stake restricted? And also they've given me a free bet. And sure enough, I upped my odds to back up to up my stake back up to £2.50 in each way sniper, and it's been going well. It's allowed me to put the last week or so £2.50 each way on Bet365. So for some reason, somehow unknown to man, I've never seen it happen before. I don't know if I've ever heard of it happening before, but it's happened. I don't know if they've been having like a clear out of accounts. I know they do that, some bookies now and again. Bet Victor, I think, had one earlier on this week. Got quite a few mates who lost their Bet Victor accounts early in the week. Luckily, mine's still going. I'm not sure how, because normally I'm one of the first ones to go. I haven't used my accounts all over Spain and everything like that in Europe using VPNs. It's just a surefire way of losing the accounts, because they don't like it up them, basically, the bookies. As soon as you start winning some money, they like to get rid of you. Anyhow, that's the current situation. So you can see that the total for the year, January, February, March and April, the first 4 months, I've actually got a profit of £1,709. Apologies if you can hear a yappy dog in the background. I'm sitting in the bus and on the campsite, and there is a dog going bananas. So yeah, £1,709 for the first 4 months, and that's the split there. I think February was the poorest month, and I think that was when we were running both Sky and Bet365 with 50p each way, and also March was the same. But you can see how it picked up in April. Just had a good month in April, and it's turned out at the minute it's been a really good month so far. And if you look at the individual days from the 1st to the 12th of May, we've had some big winning days, which might not continue. So we had £181 profit there, and we had £178 profit there. But we have had a couple of one big losing one in particular. We lost £92 on the 5th. So if you look down, this is a cumulative total for the month, a running total, if you like. By the 6th, we were still £17 down, and at the end of the 7th, we were still only £10 up. But then obviously with these two big wins, it's jumped substantially. So now, as it stands after 12 days of May, we're £465 up, which if I just do a quick calculation here, divided by 12, that's £38.76 profit per day. Which is nothing to be sniffed at, to be honest. If you just, this is a set and run, you don't need to do all these stats and everything. Clear that. You don't need to do all these stats and everything. So it's really a set and forget thing. You can just let it run. You can let it run for the month, really, and then clear your figures down and look at the end of the month what your figures are. But I'm just doing it daily. Just so I started doing it daily at the 1st of May again. I'd stopped, but I started again on the 1st of May just so I could do this video for you. Because I haven't been the last couple of months. I haven't tended to be keeping daily numbers because it's a lot easier. There's no admin or anything if you're not keeping the daily numbers. So you can see here, here's the totals at the bottom. I've had 570 bets so far this month. We've only had like 40 winners, which I've got the percentages down here, which is only 7%. So only 7% of the bets I put on win. We've had 146 placed horses. That's in the top whatever places, whether that's 2, 3 or 4 or 5 or 6, depending on what the bookie's paying out. And then we've had 367 losses, which is 64%. And we've had 15 non-winners, and that's the total there, the 465.16. Okay, so I'm going to go on now, bearing in mind that's the totals we've had. I've set the software going at about, I can't remember if it was about 7:30, 8 o'clock this morning. It's 9:15 now, so I'm going to go live into each way sniper and show you how it works and my settings. So this is the each way sniper software running. You can see it's actually running there because the run's dimmed out. We've got the option to stop it, but we can't run it because it's already running. Apologies for the size of the screen. This is the resolution I'm stuck with at the moment because I'm actually running this on a different machine. You can see there I'm running on a mini PC, which is actually because I'm working on a campsite at the moment. I didn't want the mini PC in the van, so it's actually running at my mum's house. So thanks, Mum. Hope you're not watching this for the electricity. I've done the honourable thing and turned the monitor off. It is just a mini PC running, but it is running 24/7, and I have taken off all power saving functions at the minute because I didn't want it falling asleep while I'm using auto sniper. And basically all I do is run auto sniper on the software. It's just a mini. I'll try and stick a link to the description. I just bought it off Amazon. It was only 189 quid. I was actually using VPS, and it was working okay in sometimes, but not others. So I've ditched the VPS for now. I had one, I think it was VPS hosting cheap VPS hosting UK it was called, and I found out the server was based in Budapest. So when it was logging into all these bookies, some of them were failing, saying you can't log into your account from Hungary. And I'm thinking, I'm not in Hungary, but so even though it was called UK hosting, it was based in Hungary, and they said they hadn't apparently no space on their UK servers. Whether they've actually got any UK servers or not, I have no idea. So I ditched them, and then I started using Hosting World, but for the same package for 4 gig, it was a hell of a lot slower than the Hungary one, believe it or not. That one was based in the UK. So I thought, you know what, by the time I pay sort of 10, 15 quid a month, I'll just buy myself a mini PC. Obviously, the disadvantage with a mini PC is if you're leaving it on 24/7, you do have to pay electricity for it. And with the price of electricity these days, who knows what's the cheapest option. But I'm not actually paying at the moment. I could probably put it somewhere in here in the van because I'm obviously getting free electricity on the site. But it's just a case of having nowhere to put it, really. I might move it, yeah. Anyway, I'm using Chrome Desktop, whatever the software is here. Yeah, Chrome Remote Desktop to remote access into the mini PC, based about from about 30, 40 mile away. But I seem to be stuck to this resolution where I've got these bars down the side, and then I have to change all the column sizes on here so I can see everything on the screen. But it works, so I'm not too. When I get back to my mum's one day, I might have a look and see if I can change the resolution. I can't seem to change the resolution at this end. There's a couple of options in here, but none of these are the only options you do have, and none of them seem to do anything to make it any better. Anyhow, getting back on the software, as you can see, the first bet was put on this morning. These are in order of chronological order, so order of time. So you can see the first bet was put on at 7:43 this morning. We've had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 23 bets already today, and it's 9:25. You can see the last one was placed at 9:21. If this screen flicks around, goes to a bookies, it'll be placing a bet, so I'll let you watch that if it does happen, or if it logs out of one inadvertently and tries to log back in. You can see I've got a few errors down here. Don't know what's happened with each way sniper recently, but it seems to be a lot more errors than what you used to get. And I don't know if that's just me and my setup or not, but then again, I've got a few mates in a WhatsApp group. We all seem to agree that there are a lot more errors now. So today I've had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 errors. Errors can happen for a number of reasons. I don't fully understand all these. I mean, something like your bet slip has changed. Please review and try again. That was with Sky Bet. And then you've got unable to place bets again with Sky Bet. Sometimes you don't get an error message at all, which isn't very helpful. And then bet slip not found. I've never fully understood that. Yeah, so we're placing a bet on Sky Bet. Yeah, so take it easy. 26 ones, putting 50 pence on. That's it done. And that's the balance there. And if I go back to the betting log, you'll see at the bottom here there should be, unless it errored, you should see a new bet. If I can get to the bottom here. Yeah, so there it is. Take it easy. That's doing another one. Darkness. This happens all the time, obviously. You just have to bear with me when this is happening. It's the only way I can really show you the software live while it's actually running. So if I go back again, there's another one put on after Take It Easy there, which was Darkness there. And obviously, Sky Bet, as I mentioned, I'm only getting 50 pence on each way, which is a shame, really, because I would love it to still be £2.50 like the rest. But I can't complain too much because, like I say, Bet365 is back up to £2.50. So, yeah, I was talking about the errors, wasn't I? You'll get errors like, I don't know, see this one, Kaziva Princess, for example, 41s. It might try to put the bet on with Betfred and it wasn't available to 41 anymore, because you can imagine if a sniper's getting on for a lot of people trying to put this bet on at the same time, or a few seconds apart, then once the bookies get hit with all the bets, then this odds might drop like down to 34 to 1, and if it's 34 to 1 it won't place the bet because it's expecting 41 and doesn't think it's not the value bet it was expecting, because all these are value bets basically. High odds, you can see there's a 67 to 1, right, it's a 66 to 1, 67.0 decimal. Would be nice if that one come in. Candle of Hope, if anybody's watching the Lingfield 1425 this afternoon with Bet Victor, Candle of Hope 67's nice. But you will get some. I think there was a race yesterday, can't remember where it was. The winner was 66 to 1 and second place was 200 to 1. Unfortunately, I didn't have either on here, which is a shame. I would love to have had one because it does not bump up your profits for the month when you get a few big winners. We have had a couple of 40 to 1s this month as well. That's where the £180 and £190 profits came from. But I've just noticed that Kaziva Princess eventually got put on with Bet365 at 8.14, and I tried to put it on at Betfred 8.13. So you can see some reason it failed on Betfred, but it got on for the same price on Bet365. So that kind of thing will happen. So even though it's in the error log, there's no need to panic because it will put it on with it. It will try with different bookies as long as it can get the same price. You'll find a lock one with Bet365 and Sky because they tend to offer the best value. Bet365 you'll get higher odds than a few other bookies, and then Sky Bet do the most sort of extra places, and I do believe it takes that into consideration as well. So you can see that Sky Bet race there, Haydock 1335 is the 6 places because the number of places down here. 5.15 at Haydock as well with Sky's 6 places, so it offers better value because there's more chance of the horse coming in the first 6 places, even though we've only got 50 pence on it each way. So that's your errors. I'm going to go now onto the settings. So you've got the settings here. So in the settings then, I've blanked out obviously username, password, and down here as well for each bookie. But if I go through these settings on the top right first, these have been changed quite substantially. I tweak these and tinker with them all the time based on what friends are doing and stuff. But I did start with a rating of 100 for probably the first 3 or 4 months. It was only last month when a few of the lads jumped on, a couple of the seasoned gamblers, if we want to call them that, know a bit about the horses and stuff. They dropped the ratings down to 95, and we're getting some really good results, like towards the end of April, getting massive wins and stuff that we weren't getting on anybody who had over 100, because obviously you're not getting on the same horses. So I dropped mine down to 95 as well, but it doesn't half increase the number of bets. I was doing like sort of 200 bets a day. So I changed mine back to 97 as a result. Also, number of bookies, I used to have this as unlimited, and again that gets in conjunction with the 97 rate, and that gets on a lot. So this is what I've settled on now for the last sort of week. I've taken this down to 20. I did have it down at 12 because a few of the lads as well, they all got a message saying that, well, from Bet365, kind of coincided with me getting my £5 free bet in my account back. Their message was though that Bet365 are concerned about the number of bets they're placing and the amount they're spending each day. And I didn't get that email. But I thought it would be wise just to drop the number, because obviously you do get on a lot of Bet365 and probably Sky Bet's the other one that you get like volume bets on, because they offer the most value basically. So to drop this down to 12, but then I was only getting on 30 or 40 races a day, and I wanted to be closer to 100, because I think if you only need a few winners a day to make a profit, and I think to get the few winners, it's easier out of a few, like getting on for 100 bets rather than out of 30 bets. So based on that, I've just upped it recently to 20. I might change it back to unlimited again, I'm not sure yet. I prefer to do unlimited, but like I say, I just don't want to flag my account up with Bet365, having just recently seemed to have gotten it back. Number of bets per minute too, I haven't touched that, and I haven't touched this 60 refresh rate, but I have had this up and down as well. I think the number of bets per race defaults to 2 or 3. Had that up at 1.8, so the only issue there is the extra place races, like like Sky can sometimes give 6 or 7 for the extra places, whereas the other bookies will be like 1 less. So you tend, on those races, if Sky's given 1 more extra place than the rest, it tends to get on a lot of horses with that one Sky bet bookie. Now, if you've got 8 there, potentially on the big races where Sky's paying, like, it can go up to 8 places on the really big races. You don't want to really be getting on all 8 horses with the same bookie for Sky, because that is going to... So I've downed that from 8 to 5 just for now. And I've probably had these settings run for about a week now. So if you go back to the stats at the first part of this video, you can have a look at the week's performance on those. I still think a lot of it's sort of variance and luck. So these settings aren't going to be the be all and end all. You should still make a profit as long as you haven't got daft settings. So rating anywhere between 95 and 100 I've seen. Number of bets per race, between 3 and 8. I mean, if you only have 2, you could be missing out, because you're going to get on the first 2 horses that the software picks, whereas there might be some good value bet horses and you might miss a high odds. And then bets per bookie, don't have that too low, otherwise once you've used your quarter up, like once I put me 20 bets on with Bet365, it won't place any more for that bookie that day. The show errors log is this window down at the bottom here. You have to turn that on every time. I wish that would just stay ticked. If you've got ticked, it should just stay on, in my opinion. You have to come in every day and tick that to turn this on. I do like to see the error log. I know a few of my mates as well, I don't do it, but they go through the error log, and if it hasn't put the bets on with a different bookie, they'll try and get the bet on manually. So like that Regal Empire there, once it hits the error log, they'll have a look with Sky Bet and see if it's still 34 or 33 to 1. And if it is, they'll put the bet on manually. I don't bother doing that, because to be honest, I can't be asked with the admin of looking to see if they've won and adding it to me profit and loss. But it's just an option you can do if you want to. It also, if you do that, it might give you an idea as to why each way snipers erroring. For example, 888 Sport are renowned for taking away the each way box. Myself and quite a few people I do know have had the each way box taken off with 888 Sport, so I've actually turned them off altogether. It's a sneaky way of doing it. I'm just hoping the rest of the bookies doing cotton on. As you're putting on so many each way bets that they just take the box off, so you can't actually tick it, so you can only put a win bet on. Buggers. So if I go on each bookie now, if I just go to Bet365 as an example, I've got them all set to more or less the same. So I've got username, password blurred out, and you set these up for each bookie. So I've got my each way stakes, £2.50 for Bet365. Minimum odds of 10, maximum odds of 151. So doing the minimum odds first, then I used to use 7, but then a few of the lads have said they've done some analysis between 7 and odds of 7 and 10, and said they're all running at a loss. And I had a look, and ours the same. Because the odds are so low, if you're getting if you get a placed horse between 7 and 10, you only win a few pence. It's typically a maximum of a quid or two, even if it's really high odds. Whereas if it's a lot higher, so over 10, then you're sort of talking pounds rather than pence difference. The only thing I would say about that is, to me, the way each way a sniper works is, from my experience anyway, your placed bets, the winnings that you get from your placed bets kind of makes up for your losses for the losing bets, and then your winning bets or your profit. And that's in simplistic terms. It doesn't work out exactly like that, but it's that kind of thing. So my theory there is if you're getting a lot more places between 7 and 10, because there's more chance of getting the places between odds of 7 and 10, that could be subsidising your losses. So that's just something to bear in mind. But I have changed mine to 10 for the minute, to see how it goes, and I'll do some further analysis on that based on all the historical data I've got. Maximum odds 150 to 1. I was going to say I hadn't seen much more than that, to be honest. I know some people only use 100 in here, 101 to go to max odds of 100. But I was saying earlier on that there was a race yesterday where the winner was 66 to 1, and the second place was 200 to 1. Now I instantly jumped on each way sniper to have a look to see if I had any of those two horses. Well, there wasn't a chance in hell I was going to have the second one, because I've only got 151 here, instead of what I'm going to up that to now is 201 for all the bookies. As it happens, I didn't have the 66 to 1 winner either, which is a bit unfortunate. But so if I drop down then, say Betfred, I've got all the same settings for most of them, with the exception of Sky. So you can see here all the bookies you can select. You can see which ones I've got selected, which ones I haven't. I haven't got B-Win selected because it was only allowing me to put 39 pence on each way, believe it or not. I've been totally gubbed by Betfair Sportsbook. I can't even place a bet. 888 Sport have taken off the each way checkbox. Poker Stars, I just haven't had a bet on in about sort of 4 or 5 months. I think I've had 1 or 2 bets with them in the entirety I was using them, so I've just turned them off. Poker Stars has this uncanny habit as well of keep logging itself out periodically, and so Sniper's always logging back into it and spending half the time doing that, so I just turned it off because I wasn't getting any bets on with them anyway. Unibet, I haven't even signed up to them yet, and I do need to do that. I don't know why I haven't even done that welcome offer. So that's something I probably need to do, as long as they let me join. Will Hill, I've had one account totally closed down, and the other one I can put like 10 pence on a bet, so absolutely useless. And then Sky Bet, if I click on that one, you can see that one's set at 50 pence because I can't put any more on. Totally stake restricted. The exchanges here, I just leave all those checked because that's what it matches the bookies prices with the exchange prices, to see if the bet is a value bet or not, because obviously it needs to determine determine how it calculates its value in the first place. So it does that against the exchanges by the looks of it. And that is the settings. So I hope you've enjoyed the video. And the settings I'm using. I hope it gives you some insight as to using the software. I'll leave a link to the software in the description. Also, if I can find the mini PC I ordered, I'll leave that in. You can see it's added a few more bets since I started this video. And if you've got any questions, or if you use different settings, or if you've had better or worse experience using different settings, then stick them in the Discord server and the Each Way Sniper channel. We can have a chat about it, and the more knowledge we get around it, the better, really. Hopefully enhance the profits we're getting out of it. Okay, that's it for this one. Thanks for watching. Cheers now. Bye.